Hi internet friends, my name is Stephen Lewis and this is my Project for Awesome video for End Polio Now. But before I start talking about the charity, you may be asking, what is polio? And it's a good question. If you're under 23, like I am, and live in the United States, like I do, then you've never lived in a country that has polio. We were declared polio-free in 1994. But just because we don't have it now doesn't mean we never did. There are actually many Americans still alive today who are survivors of childhood polio, like actor Alan Alda. In fact, it used to be pretty ubiquitous, which is why organizations like End Polio Now are working so hard to eliminate it as quickly as we can. So here's how the disease works. Polio attacks nerve cells inside the spinal cord, and though it's a bit more complicated than this, what it's most famous for is its ability to cause paralysis. And it's partly because polio can physically debilitate its victims that it's had such a massive effect on the global economy. It's actually predicted that within 20 years in a polio-free world, the global economy will save anywhere between $40 and $50 billion. But, and this should be emphasized, the reasons for stopping polio are not economic. It's believed that if we were to stop all efforts now, within 10 years, an additional 200,000 children would be infected annually. And that if we hadn't done what we've already done, an additional 16 million people would be paralyzed in the world today. We have to understand that because we have an ability to help these people, we have the responsibility to help these people, which is where End Polio Now comes in. So in 1952, a man by the name of Jonas Salk, or possibly Salk, invented a vaccine for polio. Famously, Salk, or possibly Salk, decided not to patent the vaccine. When asked who the patent for the vaccine belonged to, he said, well, the people, I would say. Which, to be clear, as far as like people doing cool things throughout history, that's pretty cool! Since then, nonprofit organizations and governments all over the world have been trying their hardest to eliminate this disease. And Polio Now is just one of them. It's a branch of Rotary International and works in cooperation with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. In fact, if you're willing to donate money to End Polio Now, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation are willing to match your donation twice over. So if you donate $25, they'll chip in $50. So where does the money go? Well, of course, vaccines. Each of them costs about 15 cents to make, so even a small donation will go a long way, but it's not just vaccines that they need. See, they also need to sustain a rather large surveillance network, keeping track of who has been tested, who hasn't been tested, who has polio, who's been vaccinated, who hasn't been vaccinated, who's moved where since the last time they did a vaccination run in a certain area, which organizations, governments, and militant groups are in favor or not in favor of their vaccinations, how the vaccinations in previous areas went since the last time they've gone there, do they need to go back, and tons of other information. Look, we're in the home stretch of eliminating an illness from the face of the earth. That's not an easy job, and we're not done doing it. Which is why I believe the Foundation to Decrease World Suck should give one of its Project for Awesome grants to End Polio Now. We are so close to ending polio forever. And it's thanks to organizations like the Foundation to Decrease World Suck and End Polio Now, and people like you, me, and Jonas Salk/Sock, that we can. Which reminds me that you can get fabulous socks just like these at the Project for Awesome's Indiegogo campaign. I have had this one since the 2014's Project for Awesome, it says it right there. So not only are they both fashionable and comfortable, they're freaking durable, man. I just wanted to thank you guys for watching. I do hope that you liked this video and that you'll consider donating, if not to End Polio Now, to one of these other amazing charities. Have a happy Project for Awesome, and DFTBA.